The night that should have ended with a simple ride home became the moment that nearly destroyed everything I believed about love, trust, and myself. I still remember staring through the rain-covered windshield as my girlfriend's best friend quietly turned off the highway. At first, I assumed she was avoiding traffic, but then familiar streets disappeared behind us, replaced by silent neighborhoods I had never seen before. When I finally asked where we were going, she gave me a calm smile and said something that instantly made my stomach tighten. She told me to relax because no one had to know. In that single moment, it felt like the ground beneath my life had shifted. Every decision I made over the next few hours would determine whether I lost the woman I loved forever or prove that trust is built in the moments when nobody else is watching. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, honesty, and second chances still matter in today's world, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who believes in doing the right thing, and subscribe to Dad's Second Chance. Your support helps keep these heartfelt stories alive. I had been dating Emily for almost 3 years. She wasn't just my girlfriend, she was the person who made ordinary days feel meaningful. She remembered little things that everyone else forgot, celebrated my smallest victories, and stood beside me during the months when I struggled after losing my job. We weren't perfect. We argued about work, money, and our future like every couple does, but beneath every disagreement was a foundation of respect. I never doubted that she wanted a life with me, and she never doubted that I wanted the same. Her best friend, Lauren, had always been around. She was outgoing where Emily was quiet, spontaneous where Emily carefully planned everything. The three of us occasionally had dinner together, attended birthdays, and celebrated holidays. Lauren was friendly and confident, but I never looked at her as anything more than my girlfriend's closest friend. She was simply part of Emily's world, and because I loved Emily, I respected that friendship. One Friday evening, Emily had to stay late at work preparing an important presentation. We had planned to meet for dinner afterward, but an unexpected meeting forced her to cancel. Since Lauren happened to be nearby after meeting some coworkers, Emily suggested that Lauren could drive me home because my car had broken down earlier that week. It seemed harmless. Emily trusted her completely, and so did I. The rain grew heavier as we left the restaurant parking lot. For several minutes, we barely spoke. Soft music played through the speakers while streetlights reflected across the wet pavement. Everything felt normal until Lauren suddenly missed the exit leading toward my apartment. I pointed it out politely, assuming it was an honest mistake. She simply shrugged and continued driving. When she finally parked outside a modern townhouse, I realized we were nowhere near my neighborhood. She turned off the engine, looked at me with unusual confidence, and quietly suggested that I come inside because nobody would ever know. She insisted it would stay between us and claimed that Emily was too busy to notice. The words hung in the silence like thunder before a storm. For a second, I honestly thought she was joking. Then I noticed there was no smile. My heart raced, not because I was tempted, but because I suddenly understood how quickly a person's entire life could unravel. One wrong decision. One misunderstanding. One accusation. Years of trust could disappear overnight. I stepped out of the car immediately. The rain soaked my jacket within seconds, but I didn't care. I calmly told Lauren that she was Emily's best friend and that I loved Emily far too much to disrespect her, even in thought. I explained that trust isn't something you protect only when people are watching. Real character appears when nobody else can see your choices. Lauren's confident expression slowly faded. She stared at the steering wheel without saying anything. For a long moment, neither of us moved. Then something unexpected happened. Tears filled her eyes. She admitted she had been feeling lonely for months after a painful breakup. Watching Emily and me together had made her jealous, not because she truly wanted me, but because she desperately wanted someone to choose her the way I had chosen Emily. She confessed that she wasn't thinking clearly and had convinced herself that one reckless decision would somehow make her feel wanted again. Listening to her confession replaced my anger with sadness. I wasn't responsible for her loneliness, but I could see how pain sometimes pushes good people toward terrible choices. That didn't excuse what she had done, but it reminded me that everyone carries invisible battles. I called a rideshare from her driveway. Before leaving, I encouraged her to tell Emily the truth before secrets had a chance to become lies. She nodded silently, though I wasn't sure whether she actually would. The ride home felt longer than any journey I had ever taken. My phone rested in my hand the entire time. I considered calling Emily immediately, but I wanted to explain everything face to face. Some conversations deserve eye contact instead of text messages. The next afternoon, Emily came over looking exhausted after her presentation. We sat together on my apartment balcony where we had shared countless sunsets. My voice shook as I carefully told her everything exactly as it happened, leaving out nothing that could later become a misunderstanding. I expected anger. I expected tears. I expected accusations that I should have called sooner. Instead, Emily quietly listened from beginning to end. When I finished, she remained silent for several minutes. The silence hurt more than shouting ever could. Finally, she looked into my eyes and asked one simple question. She wanted to know if there had been even a single moment when I had considered walking inside. I answered honestly. I admitted that I had frozen for a second because I was shocked, but my decision had never changed. My future with Emily meant more than any temporary attention or selfish curiosity. Emily reached across the table and held my hand. She thanked me for respecting her even when she wasn't there to witness it. Then she surprised me again by admitting that trust doesn't become stronger because bad situations never happen. It becomes stronger because people choose each other despite those situations. Later that evening, Lauren called Emily and confessed everything herself. The conversation lasted nearly 2 hours. Their friendship, built over 15 years, cracked under the weight of betrayal. Emily cried harder than I had ever seen. Losing a best friend can hurt as deeply as losing family. Weeks passed before life slowly settled again. Lauren began therapy to work through her emotional struggles. She sent both of us a sincere letter accepting full responsibility without making excuses or asking for immediate forgiveness. She understood that forgiveness could never be demanded. It had to be earned over time, if it came at all. Emily eventually chose to forgive her, though rebuilding the friendship happened slowly and carefully. Boundaries were established. Trust had to be rebuilt piece by piece, just as a shattered window is repaired one fragment at a time. Some cracks never completely disappear, but they remind us how valuable honesty truly is. The experience changed me as well. I realized that loyalty isn't proven through grand romantic gestures. It's proven through ordinary moments when shortcuts seem easy and nobody expects the truth. Character is revealed in private long before it is celebrated in public. A year later, I proposed to Emily in the same park where we had shared our first date. As I slipped the ring onto her finger, she smiled through happy tears and whispered that she had never doubted the man standing in front of her after that rainy night. She said the proposal wasn't the moment she knew she wanted to marry me. She had already made that decision the day I came home and chose honesty over silence. If this story has touched your heart or reminded you that integrity matters even when no one is watching, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who believes in true love, and subscribe to Dad's Second Chance. Your support allows stories like this to reach people who may need hope today. Special request, before this story ends, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in that situation, and do you believe trust can truly survive after betrayal? Life will always place unexpected turns in our path. Some roads lead toward temptation, while others lead toward the people waiting for us with open hearts. The destination we reach is determined not by the roads we are offered, but by the choices we make when nobody else is there to guide us. In the end, love isn't protected by luck. It is protected by honesty, courage, and the quiet decisions that define who we really are.